Carolyn Denny, and every week we bring you stories of faith, leadership, resilience, and people who are truly making a difference in our communities. Today's guest is someone whose life and mission embody compassion in action. Today, joining me is Nadine King, founder of Christmas Come True, a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping struggling families experience dignity, hope, and joy during the Christmas season and beyond. What started as a simple act of kindness has now impacted thousands of families across our region. Nadine has become known as a force of good, a connector of people, and a woman determined to make sure children and families are not forgotten during difficult seasons of life. Her story has been featured in publication across Florida, including The Observer, local news, and Voyage Jacksonville. Nadine, welcome to the show.
Thank
I'm
you.
definitely a fan of yours, of course.
Yes. We're both fans of each
Yes,
other.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, for
Your
sure.
story is such a powerful reminder that one act of obedience can grow into something much bigger than we have ever imagined. So, for listeners who don't know your story, how did Christmas Come True come about?
So it really is a calling from God. And he actually started calling me back in the 80s.
Mm.
And I did Christmas Come True with um, a restaurant that I GM'd, and it just grew. And then I had some situations where I needed to close that down. And in 2008, 2009, here, when I moved here in 98, I felt that he was calling me, and
Mm.
that I promised him that I would always do this, that it was my calling and my blessing to be able to help as many families as we can.
You said a calling and a blessing and a promise, right? So, what was happening in your life when God first placed this vision on your heart?
So I was in the restaurant business. I saw um, employees, I saw our community
Mm-hmm.
really struggling. And it kind of bothered me that so many other organizations were looking outside of their community instead of fixing their community first. And so that
We've seen a
kind
lot
of
of that over the
started.
years.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how everybody is so willing to give someone else. But when it looks like your neighbor, they're much more apprehensive, and they will give $5 instead of that 50, but they'll give 50 to another community. And
Oh,
that
yeah.
is like, okay, but we have a mom that's struggling that really could use that food for her children.
Oh, yeah. I'm part of several different
Hmm.
organizations, and one that I pay dues to. Last year, I just went to them and said, "Listen, I pay dues to you, and you support XYZ organizations all the time, and I'm here,
Exactly.
and I'm paying dues, and I get nothing." And
Exactly.
you've had that happen,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Did you ever imagine that helping one family would eventually grow into serving thousands?
I prayed it
Yeah,
would.
it would, because the
You
need
know,
is so great, right?
it just it snowballs.
Mm.
And the need is so great in this community, and people don't understand because it's not in their face.
Mm.
It's
And they don't want to
hidden.
see it.
No, they don't want to see it.
They don't want to see it.
They don't want to cross the bridge.
I would call at times when I would go homeless, people would turn their heads
Yeah,
not to see me.
right.
Although, I was pretending to be homeless at the time, but they didn't know. So, but it would
Right.
people I would know, and they'd see me going, and they'd do like this. Did you have an instance where people really just did like this when you went to them with a need in the
Yes.
community?
Oh,
How did you
yeah, all the
manage
time.
that?
You know,
Because I
I
don't think I'm
just
good at that. I'm probably better now than what I was before.
yeah, I just feel that maybe it's not their time to help
Mm-hmm.
me,
Mm-hmm.
but they will eventually. After 17 years, I still have businesses and whatnot that don't know about us, or think it's just at Christmas, or think that they don't need to help. You know, it, they just need to go get a job.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Oh, you like
Uh,
that one?
oh,
Oh
I
yeah,
and
yeah.
and you know, I see these cars that are new that are lined up
Hmm.
for the food, and you go, okay, but that's probably their neighbor that's
Or they're
bringing
sleeping in there,
them,
or they're
or they're
sleeping in that
sleeping,
car.
or that's the only thing that they have,
Hmm.
or better yet, is there was a time when our cars were all being bought by the government.
Uh-huh. That's
And
true.
so there weren't a lot of used cars
That's true.
anymore. They were being forced into new, very expensive car payments. So,
You know, one thing I've noticed about you and about the ministry that you're doing is not just about toys or gifts. It's about dignity and hope. Why is that so important to you?
I think that we all should treat each other with dignity
Mm.
and with love. Um, that is our number one commandment.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number one thing that Jesus asked of all of us, to love each other as we love ourselves.
Mm.
I think that you have to love yourself in order to love others
Mm. You
as
know,
well.
you've worked with families that were facing incredibly difficult situations. I mean, some
Mhm.
horrible
Right
situations.
now.
What have you learned, and what have those experiences taught you about compassion and community?
Learned about compassion, that everyone has a story
Mm-hmm.
and everyone needs their story to be listened to,
And every story is different.
and every story is different.
It's different, but
And
it's the same, right? The
yeah,
same hurt, the same pain, getting shunned.
yes.
It's, oh, how do you separate this from not taking it home? I was so bad one time, I would let people sleep in my house. My husband was like, "Yeah, I gotta stop that."
Yeah.
Um, and would pay everyone else's rent
Hmm.
instead of my own,
Yep.
pay everyone else's light bill instead of my own. You know, I recalled getting, the disconnect notices and eviction notice. Everybody else was living life though. I had to grow from that. What were the experiences that you had to learn from that kind of you went, okay, I love helping, but I've got to take care of me.
Mm.
Don't tell
I
me you're
think
still doing it, Nadine. Come on now. Sometimes.
sometimes,
Sometimes I can't say anything. Yeah, sometimes I get it.
there's that mom that is struggling, that is just started a new job, and so she's not going to get paid for 2 weeks, and so we're short the rent, we're
Mm.
short the, and so yeah, I'll give to them. And um there have been people that have taken advantage of us,
That's everywhere, right?
but
But you know what? You can't stop
it
serving
is,
because of those.
no,
And it's
you can't.
it's usually a small number. I don't know. Maybe it's
No, it's a small number.
and they try to take advantage of everybody. They
Yeah,
hit
they do.
everybody up,
They
don't they?
do. But there are a lot of businesses that take care or take advantage
That's
of their
true.
customers.
It's
So
true. Very true.
everybody has that
It's true.
tendency, unless they
Mm.
really are humbled by a
Mm.
need.
Many nonprofits they struggle to sustain momentum, but Christmas Come True continues to grow. What do you believe is the key to that?
I think that as people get to know me,
Oh,
and
it's certainly you, honey.
the
You're amazing.
thank you. But as people get to know Christmas Come True,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that we've been here for 17 years now,
Mm-hmm.
we're so stable
Right.
as far as we are part of this community. Um, I think that people are a little more willing to listen
Hmm. Right.
and
I agree.
help.
I agree. All right, guys, this segment of Today with Pastor Jay is brought to you by Great Eagle Strategies, Gerald Ministries, Church on the Rock, and Do the One, blah, blah, blah. This segment of Today with Pastor Jay is brought to you by Great Eagle Strategies, Gerald Ministries, Church on the Rock, and Judah One Aviation, organizations committed to strengthening families and communities across America. Stay with us. When we come back, Nadine King and I will talk about leadership, sacrifice, and the emotional realities of carrying the weight of helping others. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. All right, I'm ready. Welcome back to Today with Pastor Jay, and I'm speaking with Nadine King of Christmas Come True. And we usually do this segment in July, Christmas in
Yes.
July, but we're doing it right now because we want to. We feel like it. Nadine, one thing people often see is the success, right? They see the events, the smiles, the impact, but what they don't always see is the emotional and spiritual weight leaders carry behind the scenes. So, what has been one of the hardest moments for you personally in this journey for you?
I think having people volunteer, having people,
Oh, yeah. It's hard to get
it's
people.
really hard to get people,
It's hard.
men, to volunteer, to move the furniture,
Yeah, we
to
need men
help
with a
us.
truck.
Yes, I need a truck.
Strong
I
men.
need a big building so that I can do this, everything from one headquarters year round rather than having to beg
Right.
for the 10,000 square feet at Christmas. That's an unbelievable challenge for me. And just having more large corporations come on board to give us a more stable income. I'm always struggling, especially this time of year. My bank account is empty,
Right.
and it's empty because I empty it at Christmas time.
Of course you do.
We gave over 10,000 gifts to
Wow.
500 children this year.
Wow. And not just that, food,
Yeah,
clothes.
there's 148 dinners. So I was just realizing that we had served over 2,000 Christmas dinners. The average family has 4 or 5 people in it. So that's how many people we have fed Christmas over the last 17 years.
That's
That's
a lot.
a lot of Christmas dinners and people loving the fact that they have a meal.
What keeps you going when things get heavy?
Prayer.
Oh, thank God. Yeah.
Prayer and God. I mean, before I get out of my bed, before I have my cup of coffee, I say my morning prayers, and I have an inspirational book called the Bible
Amen.
that
Amen to that.
that I refer to.
Right.
So
Well, let's talk about what you're doing now. I know you have some new initiatives. I saw Jill Wilbright with a bracelet on. I was like, where you get this bracelet? So let's talk about, yeah, let's talk about
yes,
that. What we got going on?
So I actually have a bracelet. So
Okay.
those are handmade boxes. So Diane Wozni
Nice.
creates this box for me.
Okay.
And then we have these 3D. So I invested in some 3D printers, and that is what those are, or that's how they are made with our 3D printer.
Okay.
And so this is called a prayer bracelet. So we had 148 families this year. And so we have at least one bracelet per family, and we have their stories. So each bracelet comes with a story.
Oh,
And
nice.
this is family 17.
Family 17. Oh, have financial challenges. Family 17 is multi-generational household. There's a lot of those. Single mother raising her young son while also caring for her own mother. Ooh, yep.
Mhm.
Her mother helps as she is able, covering the car and insurance and support when possible. Together, they rely largely on Social Security to meet their needs. Child's father provides only minimal child support. You get that? And is not involved in his son's life, leaving his mother to carry the full weight of parenting while also being a caregiver to her own parent. Can you pray for family 17? Pray for financial stability, provision to meet their daily needs. Pray for strength and endurance for his mother as she balances parenting and caregiving. And pray for increase and consistent support, both financially and through community resources. Pray for peace and unity in their home as they care for one another. This is a beautiful initiative.
Thank you.
It really is. So people, I'm going to say they purchased the
They
bracelet.
purchase the bracelet
Okay.
for
For
$25,
$25. Okay.
and they can purchase them at my store, which is Begin Again Home Goods, which helps support Christmas Come True.
Okay.
And
And it's
also,
located.
it's right up the street from Wendy's.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Okay.
right across the
On
street
100.
on 100 in Benil.
Okay. So they can purchase them there. And you have 148, you say?
148
Okay,
families this year.
148 families. So you're selling these bracelets for $25 and people going to commit to praying for them and the $25
Goes towards Christmas
go
Come
towards
True,
Christmas Come
which
True.
helps us help the families.
I love that. I love that. You know, in today's culture, because you mentioned it before, people become so disconnected from the struggles happening right in their own communities. Why do you think local compassion is so important?
I think that it starts there. And without having local compassion, you cannot have compassion for others and you
Hmm.
can't spread. If you take care of your own community first, then you can feel comfortable reaching out to others. But you should take care of your own community. That is your family unit. Those are the teachers and the parents. If we don't care for these children, then they are going to grow up unloved and they're not being educated. They are giving up. They're feeling hopeless and helpless, which is causing a lot of mental issues
It is.
and drug issues that I don't think that we need to. I think that if we really focused on, hey, I know that this family needs help. One of my families uh, is recently had her husband, I'm sorry, her child,
Mm-hmm.
Nolan,
Mm-hmm.
who suddenly had a brain bleed in
Oh,
school.
no.
And now he has a blood clot. And so she's struggling with this child's survival. She needs help. She is one of our families.
Mm.
Just one of them. The majority of our families are single moms who receive no child support. The parent, the other parent, doesn't exist in their lives. And that really takes a toll on a child's mental
It does. It does.
wellness.
What do you say to someone who believes one person cannot make a difference anymore?
Well, I'm one person.
Oh, right. You
And
are.
I started 17 years ago out of our bedroom, our
Mm-hmm.
guest bedroom. And so look at the thousands of people that we've been able to help
Mm.
just by knocking on a door and saying, I need your help.
Wow. Wow. Do you think America has lost some of its sense of community and responsibility toward one another?
Yes. Yeah. And it's a shame. And
The
I
church
hate to
used to
say that,
take
but
care of
yeah,
the
the
widows
church
and the
used to.
children. The
Yep.
church used to do a whole lot of things, you know.
And then they kind of gave it up to the government.
I know it's not the
And then
government's
no,
responsibility.
it's not the
Mm-hmm.
government's responsibility. If we helped more individually, the cost of our government.
That's true. Very true. Very true. Very true.
So instead of other people
we need to do it. Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. All right, guys, we got to take another break. Hey, family, if you miss a broadcast, catch a show rewind on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and X. Don't go away. When we return, Nadine King shares what she believes is the greatest need families are facing right now and how ordinary people can help create extraordinary change. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial.
This
Ooh, we got a
Christmas in
comedy
July.
show. We got
That
a comedy
that
show.
that's a mock-up.
Oh, that's the mock up. Okay. I'll give it back to you. Okay. You. Okay. Oh, we got. Okay. You ready? Welcome back to Today with Pastor Jay. You know, hope is still possible. And I'm so glad that you're here, Nadine. You have
Thank you.
something coming up, Christmas in July comedy show on Friday, July the 17th. And this is how you're able to raise money. You fundraise like nobody I know. You always fundraising. I'm like, she's got a golf tournament. She's got something, some Monopoly game. I don't know what she's doing. Half the time I'm looking, I'm like, Nadine, there she go again. Now we have comedy show on July 17th at the Hammett Community Center, featuring live comedy by Christy B. Comedy. So that's super. This year, a Circle of Hope prayer bracelet initiative. That's the prayer
Yes.
bracelet of
Hmm.
hope. I love that. So it's an unforgettable evening of laughter and purpose as we support families in crisis throughout Flagler County. I love all that you do,
Thank
and
you.
I wish you the most success. What do you believe that families in Flagler County are needing most right now beyond financial support?
I think that they really need people to see them,
Mm,
to see their children, to see their needs.
I can
And
see
it's
that.
not just money. You know, every so often I will send a verse to one of my families and say, you know, God is believing in you. God is seeing you. God knows what your needs are. And that's why I really wanted this bracelet initiative that everybody wears a bracelet, because in doing that, they're praying, they're thinking about that family. And when you think about that family, then God is thinking about that family.
Mm.
And that's really what we really need, is respecting each other, caring for each other, seeing each other.
What would you say to someone that's listening today that needs help and they going, "Oh, she's talking about me. She's reading my mail," but doesn't know where to start?
So they can reach out to christmascometrue.org, which
Mm-hmm.
is my website. That's where all my events are, but that's also where if they need help, they can write to us. Um, Again, right now, our funds are low, but we do have beds and bedding
Mm-hmm.
that we give to families. We really try to help them in any way possible.
And she does. I've called out to her many a times when there was families in need and I didn't have it. She had it. So we thank God for
Yeah.
you. So what are your dreams for the future of Christmas Come True?
I want to extend it to innovative community resource solutions, which is my own building with a lot more programs for our parents and our children. If mom knows how to sew,
Mm-hmm.
if mom knows how to repair, if mom knows how to garden, if mom can come and learn how to work a 3D printer and create her own product, she can sell that product, and that becomes an income for her. And so there's so many things that I am so excited about doing for the future. And not just our families that are in need, but for all of our community, for all our kids, a place where you can come and say, I want to try to do this. And we will match you up with a person that knows how to do that,
I love
and
that.
then go ahead and try. Because unless you try, you'll never be able to do it.
Well, thank you, Nadine. I appreciate you. You know, Nadine's story reminds us that ministry is not always behind the pulpit. Sometimes ministry look like feeding families, look like showing up quietly for people in crisis. Sometimes ministry looks like making sure a child wakes up on Christmas morning believing they matter. The Bible says faith without works is dead, and real faith moves, real
Mhm.
faith serves, and real faith sees people. That's for sure. Never underestimate what God can do through one willing heart. Maybe that's the greatest lesson for today. Nadine,
Yes.
thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today, and
you.
thank you for your incredible work and for your team as they can continue to do the work through Christmas Come True. And to our listeners, leave this with you today. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow isn't promised. Maybe today you adopt family 17, by going to Begin Again Homes Goods. Is that it?
Yes.
All
Begin again,
right.
home goods.
That's right. Go there on 100 and, adopt family 17 or one of the other families that you have. And sometimes the greatest miracle happen when ordinary people say yes to God, just like Nadine did. All right. Until next time, guys, I'm Today with Pastor Jay. Actually, I am Pastor Jay. And thank you for listening to Today with Pastor Jay on WNZF News Radio.
Thank you.
You $25. All right, guys, love you. Make sure you adopt a family. I'm going to adopt a family. I don't know which one yet. But when I do, I'm going to come back next week and tell you about which family that I'm praying for and the family that I have made a donation towards. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.